All right, so we're playing Duel Commander. Um, I'm pretty sure it's best of three. Opening hand looks pretty good. We got Troll Khazad-dûn, a couple dual lands. So we have something to reanimate. Cling to Dust in case of mirror. We'll keep. They're playing Niv Mizzet Reborn as their commander. All right, so we can cycle Troll on one, so I think I do want to do that. I will do the Thunder of Watery Grave. We can use Aminatou as a discard outlet, which is nice. So we draw a card, pull one on top. It's a blinky thing as well. I thought it put him into the graveyard. I haven't played much Duel Commander. I haven't played much Commander in a long time, honestly. So kind of figuring out some of these cards as we go. My apologies. All right, Swamp Cycle Troll would probably get Underground Sea, so we can just play Frog without taking damage. Could get one of the Surveil lands, but because I'm just going to fetch one of those later, and I want to get Frog into play ASAP, I think I'll just do this. Unfortunately, we can't protect it with like a force here, but hopefully there's no removal spell on the other side, and this Frog can do some serious work. All right, so for 3 mana next turn, we can play this. We can draw and put one back that we can shuffle away, or we can blink. Rug and Triumph, okay. All right, I'm probably not going to discard too much stuff here. Now that we have the Cleave counterspell, I think I'll just shock, attack with Frog, and we'll just keep doing this. We could go for a discard effect here just to get extra damage in, and I might actually, depending on what they do here. So it's probably Leyline Binding. Okay, we'll just not do anything, I guess. They weirded me out. I can just cast Aminatou. I think I want to, but it just seems so weak at the moment because I just don't have a way to shuffle the card away. And I kind of just want to hold up the Wash Away, but maybe I should just cast this. Okay, we'll just +1 card. Lord of Change, we can put that back in the deck, I suppose. We could have, I guess, protected one of our cards from something, but I don't feel like I need to. This is a turn where Carlos is probably going to cast something that's kind of scary, which is why I wanted to maybe hold up the Wash Away. I love the Wash Away counters the Command Zone commander for 1 mana. I think that's cool. Oko Thief. Okay. So Frog probably going to get zapped here, but this plus Oath can knock it down. And I'll probably go after the Oko here because of that. Okay, so I'm going to go for a Frog attack on the Oko. Could have put a counter on it and saved the oath. I am not super aware of every single trick I can do in a lot of these matchups. I can also just blink it now to get the frog back. But I think I want to blink the oath just to deal more damage. And now we have a wash away which can counter a free spell or no, a spell from somewhere that's, I don't know. We have a draw discard for Lord of Change. We can get this into play maybe. I don't think there's any graveyard related stuff. If there is, we can cling. But mostly we just have a lot of pressure here without much effort, thanks to the blink effects of Aminatou. Excuse me. Oh, we could have put 2 counters on and then we wouldn't have to oath. That's fair. Could have done that. Okay, so our Aminatou probably going to die. Flage here going to be taking care of that. The frog is there, but they're at 12. I mean, maybe we can, let's see. We'll put Aminatou back in the command zone. Now it'll cost 5. And we need a second white, but I guess we already have 2 blacks. We'll get Archive, Ridiculous Archive. Top cards, Flood Farm Verge. This is a good one. We can do this, plus we have like Indulgence plus Wash Away, and our 3/3 is just chilling. And then we have our 5th land also for Aminatou. And so since we have initiative, we can just pass turn. We have a 3/3, they're at 12. Why are they not taking any damage? Oh, they gain life from Flage. They've been at 15. They were at 15. So we can counter the Niv for 1 mana, if that's the cast, which is pretty cool. And even if it resolves, though, we can maybe do some reanimating next turn once we do some drawing and discarding. Alright, I'm going to go for Faithful Mending. Still going to hold up Wash Away. I'm going to discard Overlord and Lord of Change. Just put them in the graveyard. We can... any order is fine. I don't know what instant speed stuff they're going to have. I don't really care about my frog dying, though. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and cling to Dust the Flage while we're chilling. And I tapped poorly because now I can't attain Indulgence, but I think that's fine. Okay, so now we have 2 counter spells. The Wash Away, we have 5 different types. Let's see, 5 different mana values. We got 1, 7, 6, 2 land, so 0. Guys, Goss, each opponent sacks and you gain life. I kind of want to counter this, and we can counter this unless they pay 4. So we just replicate it once. And now our 10 Indulgence is basically just a draw 2, and if they go for Niv, we can counter it for 1, and then draw 2 with Tainted. And then we can pick up Aminatou, blink this, deal 3. Worst case scenario. Alright, 5 mana, all colors, probably the Niv. Let's cast it for blue. Alright, so Niv back in the command zone. They can just cast again next turn, but that's next turn. Draw 2. Now we're just looking for like a reanimate spell so we can bring back Lord of Change. Drew a couple lands, unfortunate, but we can maybe do looting with Aminatou, Runescar Demon. Okay, well, I am going to attack for 3 and just hardcast Runescar Demon, I guess. Binding is fine. Could be anything. Not really sure what to get here, so we're gonna take a peek. So Animate Dead can take something out of the graveyard. We can hardcast basically anything, including like Ashen Rider. So we can Ashen Rider on the Niv. But my hope is that we kill them next turn, and so I really need to find something that can give haste or come back quickly. And so either that or something that's like a free counter. So we can maybe get Daze. Daze lets us counter the Niv for 0 mana. We could also get Unbarrow Rights to have multiple bringbacks. I think Daze is actually kind of cool here because they're not 100% to cast the Niv, but the Niv does check the demon quite well. And if they have some 7-drop next turn that's like kind of scary, it can be quite good. It's a very weird play but they're just in a spot where if they resolve the Niv, they can kind of get back into it. And so it's like my duty to punish. The punish could be Archon, but I think that they're able to find Force of Will off the Niv pretty easily, and then I can be in some real trouble. Could also get Metamorphosis Fanatic, which gets back the Lord of Change. I don't have a good discard outlet though, so it doesn't really work with Aminatou. Okay, I'm gonna get Daze. It's hidden from them, and so they might not know what it is. And then next turn, if they just go for Niv, we go Daze, and then on tap we play Aminatou, we blink Oath of Kai and attack for 6. So I'm gonna go for the play that kills them if they go for Niv, which they have a pretty heavy incentive to do if they don't have a kill spell for this. Alright, so they're tapping out. So if this Daze works, we are in business. I'll just return the archive in case I need to do it. Okay, nothing to fight back, so 6 plus this should be good. They're dead on board. You like that one, chat? They could have Solitude or something here to eat the Runescar Demon, so it's not over just yet. We could also have Subtlety. And we will blink the Oath. Deal 3 to face. Okay, cool. Game 1 goes to me. Okay, so there's no sideboarding in Duel Commander, but we'll take this time to just kind of gain our bearings, talk about the matchup, talk about the deck. So Carlos is playing Niv Mizzet, 5-color, good stuff. Tons of interaction, tons of removal, tons of card draw. We got a little lucky to win a shorter game there, but it was because of how we played on purpose. We did not overdraw, we did not spend mana in spots where we didn't want to, and we made sure we had containments. Yeah, go. Where's the submit button, by the way? The deck. There's no sideboarding, but we can think on the deck. Take that time to look at deck lists and such, but so we don't have blue mana, but we do have Collective Brutality into Persist. I'm going to keep, and I'm going to go like turn 2 discard Runescar, turn 3 Persist, and hope that there's no counter spell. And his deck probably doesn't have tons of counter magic because they do just like to ramp and tap out pretty aggressively. Thanks for the follow, Munchies. Appreciate it. Whenever they quick fetch on turn 1, I always have to assume it's just Surveil Land to save time. I guess it could be Thoughtseize. Turn 1. Amio. Uh-oh. Amio is actually really nice for them. Very scary. It was banned as a commander, but that don't mean nothing. Could play Swamp first. I'd rather just play Drowned Catacombs because now I can play Plains and play an E2 drop in the deck, basically. If I play Swamp first, it cuts off my ability to play a blue-white spell on 2, like a Faithful Mending or similar. So we're not going to -2 unless there's a target, but we will go discard Drain so that we get to discard the demon. So we'll go Drain 2, target opponent discards, and then we'll choose you. Choose you. Card Runescar Demon. Now we're looking to take one of their interactive pieces. They're going to be able to clue, but next turn I can go for a Persist or I can go for Oath of Kaya, depending on what they have going on over there. So I have 2 good options. Helix and 4th Earlingus, as well as Pernicious Deed. So I'm not really big scared of Lightning Helix, so we're just going to take 4th Earlingus. Let's go. That card is very scary. So now we know their hand is Prop, Deed, Helix. They're going to draw a card off the clue. I wonder if I should have done nothing on 2. What if on 2 I do nothing? On 3 I go Oath, and on 4 I go Selective Brutality Persist, so I can make sure there's no counter spells on turn 4. Because now I don't even feel that comfortable going for it, although they did not draw a card, which is kind of wild to me. I'm able to draw a card now in case they have discard in their deck. Unmarked Grave. Alright, I'm going to go for Oath of Kaya. The Tamio is rather scary long term, and the other cards in their hand are not, except for a random card off the top. And so we're just going to contain the Tamio here. And then next turn we can Unmarked Grave for Barrow Rights, and we can persist the Runescar Demon, so we can kind of set up for like a multi-turn thing with Frantic Search. We could also... okay. Any land? No land. So they have 2 unknowns. And Tower. Okay, so let's start with Persist on Runescar Demon and see what happens. Maybe we should start with Frantic Search. But this plays around Spell Pierce. Gets me something really powerful. Maybe a counter spell. Okay, it just worked. So we have a 5/5 versus the frog. And now I want to just go get something that can kill the frog. We can get something that rebuys our... we have a lot of options here. It's Demonic Tutor, basically. So we can get Tithing Blade just to eat the frog. The frog existing for a full turn here is the scary part, because it's able to... they're able to like kill our thing and then attack. I'm not afraid of Deed or Helix. I am kind of afraid of other cards they could have, so we could go get Thoughtseize and cast it. But I kind of just want to remove the frog. We can also just reanimate frog later, perhaps. Also just cast a 5-drop next turn. Could just get Counterspell. Can hold up Counterspell for their next play. I think I really just want to kill their creature, though, because they can actually just attack through my 5/5 right now. And so maybe it's just push. All right, and we'll say go. And if they attack, we can do some blocking. There's a lot of options there when I'm tutoring, so honestly, I'm not really sure what the correct play is, so I'm just going to make a play that I think is somewhat safe. So we can block the frog for a bunch. If they discard a bunch, we'll push. And then we'll just try to go again. We'll on Margrave for something, we'll Frantic Search, and we'll look for ways to get out of our predicament. But I think that we are ahead here, even with 3 unknowns. Is Dustmore Kaido playable on this? Some of the grinders from LGS run it on Legacy Nights. I don't know. I believe it's legal. Things in Duskmorn should be legal now. I am gonna go for EOT Fatal Push on this, and it just resolves, so that's nice. I will attack for 5 and see what they do. I don't assume that the Runescar Demon is going to go all the way, but with the fact that I didn't kill it in attack leads me to believe that they don't have anything. I don't really like casting Frantic Search here because it just doesn't work that well with without something to discard. And so let's go cast Aminatou. And then we can put something back, and then we can shuffle it away with Unmarked Grave. All right, Wash Away is fine. We will Man Zone. And then I'll just cast Unmarked Grave here. Next turn we can Aminatou for 5 and blink the Runescar Demon. Unholy Heat? Sure. That put them... Okay, so now I just go get Unbarrow Rights, and then Unbarrow Rights the Demon. Gotta find it. For you. I love that Unmarked Grave can get either half. I think it's a very cool command card. And we can tutor for that and get the Wash Away ourselves, so we can Wash Away Niv next turn if they have it. We know 2 of their 3 cards are somewhat weak removal spells. We will Unbarrow Rights the Runescar Demon. The one card we didn't know, Soren's Ransom. Okay, this is fine. So I've arranged the cards into 2 piles. I will put Force of Negation. So one's face up, one's face down. The top pile will be presented face up. So we can do... There's no way that they can stop the Unbarrow Rights here because we know they have Deed Helix. So the Force of Negation is not that problematic, but it can be problematic a turn or 2 from now. And so I think what I'll do is I'll offer them lands versus spells. And they'll probably take the lands. And then the Force and the Mana Tithe aren't so bad. Okay. So they have Force plus Mana Tithe. They did not keep the lands. And now we'll get Wash Away, and we have Wash Away for the Niv. Wash Away, a very cool commander card also. Respectfully, why Tandy? What do you mean? As a name? You have a problem with my name? Or are you asking about a play? I was actually Android before they canceled it. But also, my name is Todd Anderson, so Tandy is a portmanteau. So we know they have Mana Tithe, Force of Negation. So even if they have land 5 here for Niv, it doesn't do anything. I have a kitty visiting. Impact. Sure. Okay, so basically Tainted Pack gets to mill deck until they find whatever they're looking for, which is probably a removal spell for the Runescar Demon. They gotta be a little careful. Unfortunately, the Tainted Pact is just powerful. It doesn't stop until they find what they need. In Constructed, sometimes you brick because you hit a duplicate, but in Commander, it just works. So my guess, they're just looking for something to kill Runescar Demon, and I think that that's okay for me. Because we can keep playing the game. And they'll be down a bunch of potential tools later in the game. Something, they might be able to steal it with like Gilded Drake or something. That could be scary. Replicate doesn't work. Because we don't have, it's not Animate Dead. So they stopped at Fire Spout? Or they stopped at Swords of Plowshares. Sure, I didn't see it because it went to hand, I guess. Weird. So they have Mana Tithe, Force Negation, Helix, Deed. I believe those are the 4 cards. Mana Tithe, Helix, Pernicious Deed, Force Negation. So no blue card. I guess I will Swamp Cycle this. We'll go get D. And I'm going to play Frantic Search. Looking for something good here. So we don't have the creature yet. We'll discard a Faithful and a Pending. Order's fine. The 1 tap 3. And now I can do Dioda's Ploy and Animate Dead, or I can Animate Dead on Frog or Troll. Animate Dead on, let's see, Animate Dead on Troll is a 2-turn clock. And I have a counterspell. So let's just do that. Helix doesn't work. And I think this is better than Frog. And we could play Dioda's Ploy and gain a lot of life this turn, but I don't think I really need to, so I'm not going to. But this makes it a 5 that's hard to block. And then they'll just need another hard removal spell for it. They don't know either card in our hand, I don't believe. Petra Triumph. This is Hardcast Pernicious Deed. So we can go for a counterspell and it'll get tithed. This doesn't kill the troll immediately. I think this is just fine. They played their land tapped. So we know they have Pernicious Deed. And we know they have Mana Tithe and Force Negation. And so we know everything. I am going to just bait here with a Faithful Mending and hope that they use their Mana Tithe because they have so few ways to use it. Fine with me. Okay, balance here, not that good. We'll attack for 5. We can Aminatou and blink the Oath of Kaya and deal them some, and then doesn't hit planeswalkers, and so my Aminatou can do something maybe really good next turn. I guess we could just Diotis Ploy, but I think that I just want Aminatou. And we can still pay for Wash Away on the Niv if we need it. And so now, next turn, we get to start by drawing with Aminatou. Aminatou? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it poorly. But they are very likely to deed because of this. They can technically Helix, I guess. But they can't Helix and get rid of this very easily. I guess they can Helix this and deed. I guess that's the line. And then we still have an answer to the Niv. And they got Force Negation is the only known card in hand. To the command zone, yep. Very Time Raveler, very good draw. Alright, so now their Force Negation is locked. We'll just say go. We have Wash Away for the Niv, and we have Diotis Ploy. You can also let the Niv resolve and then just balance to make them discard a bunch of cards after they draw it. And that'll kill the Niv and the draw. So it lets my balance actually do something, which is kind of neat. Flage. Okay. So Teferi's going to take some damage, that's fine. We'll just Diotis Ploy. They're going to go up to 8. Not great. Gained a bunch of life. We're trying to shorten the game. But Teferi's still pretty good here. We can hardcast the Grief. I kind of want to discard the Balance, but Balance plus Teferi seems like it could be good. I think we just keep all the blue cards. And the Grief is a way to take something out of their hand here, which is nice. Drown the Lock or Force? I'll take Drown. Could hold this for Jumpstart. Ended Pact. Sure. Ended Pact of my own. So if they go for Niv, I have a counter. If they go for Flage, I have a counter. And their Force Negation should not do very much. Alright, so they are going for the Flage. We will Wash Away, since it's being cast from the grave. You attack the Teferi for 1, that's fine. I'm down with this Song and Dance for now. So we can Tainted Pact in response to something. And we can cast Sorcerers with Teferi. I'm not sure exactly what's in my deck. But we're just going to do this main phase in case I can find a way to kill or something super gross. Clean Dust in your hand? No. Teeth in your hand? No. Prismatic Vista? No. Agent of Treachery? No. Master Worth? No. No on Island. Monk Tutor? No. We're doing that already. And Indulgence. A draw 2? 2 mana draw 2? No. Fire. Flogy? No. Island? No. Bitter? No. Thunder? No. Dance of the Dead. Oh, I could have won the game. I'm an idiot. Top creature is Troll of Khazad-dûm. We could have killed him. Yeah, we'll just put Corpse Dance in our hand, or Dance of the Dead. And then, there's a battlefield that loses enchant creature. Okay, I should not have kept this card. I actually don't even know how it works. I thought it was Corpse Dance. I'm having to play a little faster. We have to play a game 3, and I don't have much time left on my clock. And so I think I just want to play faster rather than better. I might be able to win game 3 more easily. Okay, so while they're doing this, I'm going to force will whatever they cast here. And so Aminatou, or sorry, Dance of the Dead says, and in battlefield, it's Animate Dead. Creature comes in the battlefield tapped. Enchant creature doesn't untap during at the beginning of enchant creatures untap. Okay, so it comes in tapped, and then I can pay to bring it back. So I think I can take their Flage. I'm gonna try. Watch out. Got so many kitties. So many kitties. This hard cast Grief was a pretty good idea, I guess. I know, Donald. Terrors. Alright. So we won our first match. Opener looks pretty bad. We have a whole lot of junk. But we have an archive. We got a Thoughtseize. We can Thougtseize Self. We can use Aminatou to blink some stuff, but I think I'll just mulligan. Do we get one big deck mulligan? Probably not. 60 cards would be my guess. So we got turn 2 Frog. We'll keep. I'm going to put back Godless Shrine. Turn 1. Shadowy Backstreet. Top cards of land. We'll bench it. Next turn, Vista for Island. Get Frog. Read this commander. So it's Ward 2, Grissom Starn. Whenever another source you control deals exactly 1 damage to a permanent player, this deals 2 damage to that permanent player. Very cool. Preordain. Bottom. Collecting pool. All right. Get Vista. Go for Froggies. Hopefully no counterspell here. Force will be tough. We can play around a lot of the burn-based removal. We can kill a blocker. Team clean, so just bounce. Okay. We can't just get Aminatou down. Start tuning it up. think it's just worse than playing Frog. It's clear they don't have like a good answer for it here. They're just going for the bounce. So the Viper, he can play a 2/1, and then Gerson does 2 damage per. So it looks like he's playing a bit more of an aggressive deck. And I think that that's going to benefit me greatly because it seems like maybe his answers aren't going to be good enough to kill Frog or my big monster. I'm not sure what to get with Buried Alive. I'll start looking at creatures that have cool abilities that I can do from the graveyard. Psycholorian, that's fine. One Priest of Fell Rites can go to the graveyard. Okay. Another bounce spell? Fine. I'll go for a frog, and now we can EOT Tainted Indulgence plus represent like a counterspell or something. We could have gone Buried Alive for Priest, put it into the graveyard with some other stuff. But I think just getting the frog down just always puts him in a tough spot because there's no way to really block it that well. And the red spells don't usually kill it. Usually I just have to discard 2 cards. And I'll gladly discard like land bone charge to protect it from 3 damage thing. Tapped. I will go for Indulgence and see if it gets countered. I really don't mind that much if it does. And so usually when I'm okay with my thing getting countered, I'll just cast it. I should have done this in response. That's 1 damage on me. Discard Lord of Change. Discard Faithful Mending. Could keep that over a land. Find a trade a card for the Viper here. Go for I'm gonna play around a Spell Pierce. Okay, and now we go get Priest of Fell Rites for sure. And then Metamorphosis. So when it enters, return face up. So we'll go get Metamorphosis, and then the last one will probably get Archon of Cruelty. Any order's fine. And now if I priest back the Metamorphosis, it'll bring back the other one as well. And that's kind of the Buried Alive chain, I think. Blood Moon. Well, we have Islands. That's tough, though. My hand is all dead, so we're just going to shove in on this Psychic Frog and hope that it can't be killed. We'll draw a card. We'll look for ways to bring stuff back or basic lands to cast things, but the Blood Moon is quite bad for us. Balance doesn't do much. We'll say go. Next turn, we can discard 2, give it flying, hit him for 7, draw a card, and then the turn after, we can hit him for 8. So we put him on a short clock. Brazen Bar can block 1 time in there. He's used 2 bounce spells already. I don't know how many bounce spells he has. I don't know where. There's like a Google Doc with everyone's deck list on it, but even if I had the deck list in front of me, I don't know that I would look over every single thing. I'm just going to assume that this can get bounced, but I really just don't have another option. Blood Moon. Fury. Okay. So this in tandem with a 3 damage thing can kill this. Fine. Okay, inlining's fine. Alright, so we are basically just under the Blood Moon lock now. Can't play Bar, but can play this. I need to draw a white source. A white source lets me balance. Maybe I shouldn't play my lands. So these two cards together are very strong. Never seen this one before. Pretty cool. Very good for dual commander. Game's gonna end quickly. I need to draw my planes. It's dead. Okay. Gonna submit. I'll fetch basics a little bit more meticulously now, I guess. I don't even know that I drew a fetch line that game, and I'm mulligan, so. Classic Blood Moon. That's what I've been doing to people? I don't know. I have not been Blood Mooning people too much. We can. Does this hit any player? Target opponent. This is so close to a nutty opener. I wonder if there's something from them I can take with Grief, Pitch Archon, and then reanimate it to really hammer them. Probably not enough. This can go get Godless Shrine or the Black-White Duel for Aminatou / reanimate. I'm going to keep because I can just double Grief at the worst. This is like a very potentially sketchy opener, but it's fine because we have the Grief reanimate package. All right, so True Name. So we can't just take True Name and then just True Name them out. And I think that that's probably best. Consider Dart, whatever. We'll just go get Black-White Scrubland. Animate this. Choose them. And now they can never kill this. And I could have griefed them, but they have multiple things in hand that can kill it over time. And so this is just a stronger play, I think. They don't have pressure. Okay, blue card for Force Will is actually really nice. Part of me wants to counter their Consider, because they're basically just going to be looking for threats. And those threats might be cheap. And I just don't know how good spell or Mana Tithe is going to be. Okay, so gonna go for the Thundering Falls instead. This has been one thing I've been really curious on. Thundering Falls and Consider, like the nature of the Surveil lands makes those spells much worse. Curious what's happening here. Maybe Ice. I'll probably counter Ice. Yeah. It just shuts it down anyway, and this just gives them another card to look. Impact, sure. And it was the card they kept on top, maybe. They have one unknown, I believe. 4 more hits with this, and it's very hard to get off the table once it's in play. Especially for blue and red. If all I do is cast their commander, Blood Moon, I'm fine. I'm fine with Blood Moon. I'll save Force Will for something else. I have my threat. I have a free spell. It is what it is. Soupy, thanks for the follow. I'm hoping that Force doesn't get hit back with a counterspell. Okay, so Ward 2, I can never stop this. Whenever a source you control deals exactly 1. I think this cannot race me, but maybe with Lava Dart it can. So we are going to go for a counter. And I can pay for days. And now they have 3 cards in hand that I know about. But I'm basically just like all in on this True Name, but Maybe it's good enough? I thought maybe this plus Fork Bolt could be really strong. Or Lava Dart, excuse me. And so I was kind of scared of it. All right, Brainstorm to start. That means that Grissom Starn's not being cast this turn. They can find an answer to True Name. Yeah, nice. Okay, so we found the answer. It's kill him with his own thing. Kill him with his own thing. Love to see it. I almost mulliganed the hand too. Then I figured it out. Ugh. This actually seems like a pretty good hand in this matchup. Except for the mana situation. So we'll just mulligan. I'm gonna maybe mulligan this one as well. Lander. Okay, well, 2 lands. We'll keep. So Necromancy, you can play this at Flash. If you do, it leaves, right? But otherwise, it's just 3 mana Reanimate. And so maybe we just go Bone Shards out, Answer that out. What if we take a different approach? What if we go like Demonic Tutor for a big thing? Might want a Demonic Tutor for a land for all I know. We do have Swamp though, so we can play around Blood Moon decently. I'll probably go get Scrubland with it since we already have Snow Covered Swamp. I don't want to be able to play White Spell. If I get turn 3 Blood Moon again, I'm going to be pretty sad. But we do have just like Necromancy. Could just go get the Troll back, but I think doing that is going to end up losing us the game to a Bounce Spell. Get Demonic Tutor. Spell Pierce is fine. I was expecting something like this. And now if he follows this up with Blood Moon again, all 3 games, it's going to be tough maybe to win. But we still have a Troll with our Swamp in 2 different ways. And so we can get it if it dies, and we can get it. It's harder to get if it bounces, but we can still get it. And we can cycle for another Swamp as well if it gets bounced. They got Thundering Falls, which means they might not have Island, or they might not have the Blood Moon. No lands. I kind of want to play Aminatou. My hand is pretty bad. That's okay. This is more bait than anything. No pay. No pay. We'll say return to the command zone, yes. Next turn I may go Snapcaster for demo. Pretty good card. I can reanimate Vidalcan Sorcerer and kill it, though, which I think I'm going to do. And Necromancy, their stuff. You cast it as a sorcery, could have been cast. The controller permanent becomes sacrificed at the beginning next cleanup step. When it enters, if it's in the battlefield, it becomes an aura. Enchant creature put onto the battlefield. Necromancy, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Alright, let's play this. And now he can maybe bounce it and return it to his hand. We're going to go ahead and kill this. Play. I can reanimate on Troll here. I think that's actually just better. But maybe I should do it on Apprentice. Let's just get Troll back. And now we have both. I thought maybe they would Daze or something similar. Force of something or another. We're at 12 now. I could have done that in reverse to take less damage as well. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to play this or not. I'm still not sure which one I should have done. And now, even if they have a way to bounce this, it's not that bad. Cast this from... Okay, that's fine. So we can always go snap, reanimate, targeting Vol Shock. I'm going to smash for 6 and then figure it out. Tivit can be cast next turn. Turn Scolding, it's fine. Should have played Aminatou. Oh, I didn't have the mana, it costs 5. Okay, so if I draw a 6 land, though, I can play Tivit. Tivit's big, lets me investigate a bunch. This thing is not that scary at the moment, but it can maybe kill me next turn if I'm not careful. I'll retain Indulgence. I discard Floggy and then try to Tivit. Unfortunately, I'm not lethaling next turn, so maybe I just discard Verdant. Can we just Floggy? We missed. Okay, so we're actually threatening lethal next turn now with Floggy, so they can't really attack unless they have lethal. So we'll see what happens. I don't have the land for the Tivit. We can maybe Aminatou and block with Floggy. In fact, this blocking here is actually just kind of nice. Only one red source, so Lava Dart is not quite lethal. I'll block. I don't know what all's in his deck in terms of how I can get punished, but I don't think that like a blocking there is too punishing. Electrolyze, okay. I guess it was very punishing. Alright, let's play Big Flying Ward Donkey, see if it resolves. So when it enters or deals combat damage, we choose some stuff. That's Ward 3. So if it doesn't get countered, it's going to be very difficult to get off the table. So there's a chance I don't attack with either creature. Make sure I don't randomly die to stuff. But there's some chance I just get killed by like Lava Dart. Subtlety, Pitch Harbinger. Okay. So when enters or deals combat damage, starting with you, each opponent. Okay, so we get either Investigator, Bribery. I'm just gonna go with top, I guess. It's just a big thing. So if my troll gets bounced or killed, we have a big thing. I'm gonna attack because that actually turns off the Scalding Tarn, and I think it's very unlikely we die from 6 life with only 1 red source. And so we'll see if this is good enough. This is really significant because of how I sequenced at some point, but luckily we ended up winning anyway. We definitely should have sequenced differently with the reanimate, I think. Here for round number 3. Opener, kind of lackluster. I think I'm gonna mulligan. We don't have a whole lot going on. Brief, whatever. I'm gonna go to 5. I'm gonna go to 4. Bunch of very landlight openers. Going to keep. I'm gonna put back 2 lands in the force. And hopefully Tainted Pack gets us something good. I'm not really sure what I want to dig for. Maybe I will start looking while my opponent takes their mulligans in first couple turns. So I have a reanimate spell, and so I think the thing I want to look for is something that can go to the graveyard on its own. So it might actually just be the troll. It might be Troll of Khazad-dûm. Tutor for that, cycle it, reanimate it, something like that. We have a very weak opener because of our mulligans. So I'm curious if we're able to win on 4. All right, so they kept 7. Maybe I'll just save the Tainted Back for later. Maybe I can find something better to do. I just realized Entomb is probably banned. Funny. No Entomb in my deck. I was trying to think of like what I can tutor for with Tainted Pack that would be really strong. And I guess it's just Troll of Khazad-dûm. Tivit. Okay, so now it can be something that draws discards, and we can reanimate Tivit. So I guess we can go for Frantic Search or similar. Frog, maybe. Let's see what our top card is here. In fact, I don't even. I kind of want to surveil, but I also just like kind of want to take a natural draw. Let's see, I might just like wait a while to do anything. But I guess we'll just go ahead and get the chain rolling. Let's go get we have Ridiculous. I got Undercity Sewer. Force of Will, put that in the grave. Could have kept it to have it to pitch to Tivit, but when I'm already on 4 cards, I don't know that I can afford to do that. Alright, we'll Tainted Pact, and I'll just kind of see if this resolves, and then I'll just turn this into a great card. And now at this point, it's like anything that draws discards, so maybe Faithful Mending. Misty Rainforest, no. Fairy Time Raveler. Where are these cards getting revealed to? Is it just... I want to know... Like, I can't see them. It's just Teferi Time Raveler, so I just have to know the card, which is fine. No. Plains? No. Bloodstain. God the Shrine. Glacial Fortress. Bunch of lands. Show and Tell? Show and Tell is kind of messed up, but I don't know what's in their deck, and it's kind of scary. He gets Archive? No. Underground Sea? No. Yados Deploy? No. Sea Chrome Coast? No. Days? No. Frantic Search. I think it has to be one that I can cast. I don't think I can I can't plan to hit it. So keep going. Counterspell, Swamp, Corpse Dance, Prismatic, Plains. Tainted Indulgence. We can keep Tainted Indulgence and try to draw land, but I think Careful Study is just better. Let's just try to find Careful Study before we stop. On a mold of 4, this is pretty tough in general. They're live. Tower. Dark Slick. Island. Hellseeker. Thoughtseize. Belgrave. Psychic Frog. Maybe it's just Psychic Frog? Is this a threat also? We're at 54 cards. Just take Frog. I think Frog does double duty of being a discard outlet and a threat, so it'll kind of get me back in the game maybe. And if I draw a land naturally, I can just do both. Or try to. Again, on a Mold 4, I'm just not really sure how I'm supposed to go about winning other than being very aggressive. And I think there's a chance that if I go to find Careful Study, I can miss. Or at the very, not miss, but I can get to the end of my deck, and then it stops working. Like the Gristlebrand stops working. Rightmost thing under my portrait. Oh, was there a new revealed zone that I missed? I'll look for it next time I cast Tainted. Glacial Fortress. Maybe we'll just buy Atraxa. Fairy Time Raveler. Well, that one's tough. We can maybe get it with the Ward and the Frog. We'll just discard both. And they just immediately discarded a card, or drew a card. Maybe they need a Force. Well, I'm going to Flash. We have to do a Sorcery Speed. And we get to draw some cards with Gristlebrand. So, no. Oh, is that not how it works? I'm an idiot. I thought that I could draw cards before it died. I guess it's only for ETBs. I haven't cast Flash in 20 years or something. Thought I had a chance to activate ability. Alright, well, let's go reanimate. Hope they don't have a counterspell. Draw cards and hope they don't have a punish. I'm at 4 already. Maybe I shouldn't have drawn cards yet. Maybe this was a mistake. But I want to hit a land drop and cast Frog. If they have something that keeps me from drawing the cards here, I'm going to be pretty upset. But if they just kill it, I'm like really happy. Especially if it's like Swords and Plowshares or something. The fact that it resolves pretty good. But this is giving me pause too. So like I'm somewhat constrained on what I'm able to do. Yeah. Okay, so we did not draw a land. Are you... I'm sick to my stomach, chat. I did remove a lot of lands, but I'm still just sick to my stomach. Alright, we're going to discard a bunch of big guys, and I'm going to get big guys that I want to get back into play, maybe. So Agent of Treachery, Brave Titan. This doesn't do anything at the moment. Next turn, we can draw discard Fanatic during our draw step, or during our end step, and then we can... oh, no, it's Miracle. It's not Madness, excuse me. I guess we can maybe find a way to miracle this if we can put it back on top of the deck with Aminatou or similar. For someone who's cast very few spells, I cannot believe that I have more time on my clock than my opponent. I put Sparse Headquarters into the yard. See how they want to handle the Gristlebrand. The fact that they didn't tick up on this immediately gives me some hope, but with 6 cards in hand and the Teferi in play, this could be quite bad for us. Yeah, give me a second. I'll go ahead and link it to you as well. All right, Enlightened Tutor, sure. Probably dead. Dream Halls, lol. I'm never beating Dream Halls, chat. Alright, I can't do anything while my opponent has Teferi in play, so we're just gonna let them do their thing, I guess. So no, Dream Halls is two-sided, but because of the Teferi, it's not. And then cast the commander from the command zone. That's cracked. It should only work from hand. It's kind of wild that it doesn't. So they have a bunch of cards that they drew, but I don't know that they can keep going. Maybe this lets them. Yeah, if we don't die immediately, I have a good feeling about where this game is going to go. Because we get to do Dream Halls as well. And so they kept... What did they keep? Season of Wavering. Okay, never seen this card. So they make a copy of the Atraxa. Do they... Okay, so they get 2 Atraxa copies. And that maybe lets them keep going. So we'll see if we survive. My guess is that we're not going to survive because they can Atraxa again from exile. But if we get to untap, chat, maybe. But also our game was really just shattered on our mulligan to 4. I have no clue what's in their hand. I honestly don't care. There's so much potentially in their hand. It's so hard to keep track of all of it too. Might need to pay 2 more for Atraxa. How does that work with Dream Halls? They can play Templar Mastery and take an extra turn. Should I just concede now? Probably. Yeah, whatever. I don't know if I'll even get an extra turn ever, so whatever. Play first. Commanders revealed. Opener is pretty shite, but we're gonna keep because we have lands, we have some surveil, and their deck is like a bunch of counter spells and removal with like Dream Halls Atraxa kill combo. They're essentially Zori's control. All right, hopefully we just put a large monster into play off of the or into the graveyard right now. Flash. We'll just use Aminatou, look for a way to put something into the graveyard. And also fetch with this next turn. We can use Cling. Can't just animate dead Orcish Bowmasters, but I think that's poor. Play Bloodstained Mire with the intent to fetch a Surveil land. We can fetch Surveil land on the stack. I guess we can't Cling to Dust because we led with this if we want to tap land. Maybe we'll just save Cling for later. Fighting Blade? No, don't need that. So I am probably just going to cast Aminatou here. I'm not afraid of too many things on their side. Counter spells are fine. Remand. Putting it into my hand, I'm not sure if I hate it or love it. In terms of where it goes. It's weird that it's forced to go to my hand. I'm not sure if that matters. So Preordain, 1 top, 1 bottom. Maybe digging for lands. I'm just gonna say go. We can play Aminatou, but at least some shields down. I'm not really comfortable doing that at this point anymore. Especially now that we have 2 ways to protect. I'll probably instep just eat something in their graveyard to draw a card. Any land drop's fine. Now I can play Aminatou with counterspell backup, and I just won't fight over it. It only costs 3 because it was remanded to hand. More lies. That's fine. And then we will put it back in the command zone. You're good. We can fight over it, but I just don't feel the need to. We're kind of like a control deck with a combo finish. Oh, and we're going to hit our land drops, and they're going to miss. Good news. Force of Will now. I think I'm fine just casting the Aminatou now from Exile, since or from the command zone, since I found Force. And if this gets countered, it's like fine. I can also use this on Surveil lands, but I think that's just worse than plussing. Thorn's Ransom. I kind of want to force will this chat because they're missing land drops, and this is like a very good way to hit lands. I'm gonna do it because I just want to kind of strangle their mana. I can also blink an island and hold up counterspell. Just double check, that's what it does. Exile another target permanent, then return it battlefield under storm control. Okay, nothing from them. Alright, so we'll go draw, discard, or draw, put back on top, and then we can surveil it to the graveyard if we want. Six cards in hand. I think I'm just going to play Backstreet, put the land into the graveyard, and say go. And we can end a turn cling to dust. Our graveyard is somewhat useless, so it's basically just free draw card in the graveyard. We could go for a Grief with counterspell backup, but I don't think that the Grief is very good here, and because they have so many cards in hand, it's hard to explain. But if they're not hitting land drops and their hand is very big, you know, it's like hard to go for it. And going for, I just want to point out, like going for a Grief is also just like not very dangerous, because we have, you know, multiple things to do. But I want to essentially be able to really hammer them if it works. All right, so we'll just exile rewind since it doesn't matter that much. We'll exile the rest of our graveyard. And we're just doing this to cycle and draw a card, trying to leverage our mana through Grave Titan. Okay. Okay. Let's start with Hardcast Grief. And if they want to fight over it, great. If not, great. We have the Aminatou to blink it. If they counter it, we can animate dead it, or just not. Could also have gone for play Grave Titan, blink it, but it would have left our shields down. I want to hold up Counterspell as long as I can. We can also animate dead the Grief and then Aminatou the Grief after it's back. That one could be good. We could have also pitched some barrow rights to this Grief just to see what was up before we made more decisions. Like if their hand is bad, we go Grave Titan, blanket. Memory lapse. I'm gonna fight over this. because the grief represents a lot of potential pressure and the blink from the Aminatou. All very strong here. Okay, so their hand is somewhat bad. We can take the instance, the cryptic command. I don't care about Dam. I don't care about Prismatic Ending. I do care about Spellseeker and Cryptic Command, I think. But maybe it's Lore and Reveal, then Cryptic Command, and let them have Spellseeker. This also punishes them for not cycling Lore and Revealed in response. Player land. Now we say go. And their hand is Seeker, Prismatic, Dam, which are just like not very scary. But if they draw Dream Halls, they can pitch cast Atraxa, so let's just hope they don't draw Dream Halls. Everything else is sorcery speed though. Okay. They put Walk the Aeons into the grave. So at some point they can use this with buyback if they can rebuy it. Seems very cool with the Dream Hall stuff. Yeah, our opponent used Dream Halls plus Atraxa to take a bunch of turns and kill us. It was really cool last game. All right, so balance. So we have to sack a couple lands. Oh, choose 5 lands I control. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3. Done. Order. Balance is a great draw. Destroyed 3 lands. Took away a lot of my advantage. But we can animate dead and get their last couple cards here. The Spellseeker lets them search for instant sorcery, and so they can do that. Maybe I should have took that over Lore and Revealed. I thought it was a different one. Misread it. Prismatic Ending. Back to the command zone with you. So now this costs 5? How much? Or does this cost 7 now? Cost 7 now. Okay, so we drew a land so we can just play Grave Titan. They can dam it, but then we can actually, should we just Unbarrow Rights the Grief? Now let's just play Grave Titan and force them to cast Dam. And once they dam, we will like Unbarrow Rights it back, and then we can animate dead the Grief to take their follow-up, maybe, if we draw the land. But we basically want to force their hand for the next few turns to just tap out for answers instead of playing Spellseeker. But Dam into Overload, Wrath of God, or whatever is fine. Oh, okay, they're not doing that. They're going to go get Spellseeker. I wonder if that means that they're going to do something that steals this. They have to show it to me at least so we get to see. I hope it's not like Flash or something. I'm very surprised they did this instead of just casting Dam. This represents a ton of pressure, so they obviously have a plan for Spellseeker to do something serious. Tainted Pact. So Flutter Strand's the last card I don't know. They have Tainted Pact and Dam, so they're going to go for a Tainted Pact kill next turn. It's going to be difficult for them. Oh, that was a great draw. 2 for Dream Halls now? Yeah, I'll just take it from their hand. We can also reanimate their Spellseeker and go get something. I'm gonna start with that. I did. Let's see. I exiled a bunch of stuff last game, so I should have access to everything this game. We can take Thoughtseize. I want to take a counterspell of some kind. I guess we can Tainted Pact for something serious. And Tutor for something. You just go get Daze. That'll make their life a bit harder in general. Go get Unmarked Grave and then Unmarked Grave Animate Dead. We have Iona. Is Iona banned? I can do so much. Okay, I'm gonna Unmarked Grave. Non-legendary, but be able to get some big baddie. I think I'm just gonna get Runescar Demon and then go get Daze, something like that. Or maybe discard. I guess we have to do something that stops Dam. So maybe we just go get Gristlebrand and then draw 7. What does that look like? Archon of Cruelty makes them discard. Agent of Treachery just gets land. Okay, we can't get Gristlebrand because it's legendary. I'm sorry, chat. It's difficult to play with tutors. It's very difficult to play with tutors. Could just get Lord of Change and just draw a bunch of cards. Alright, let's get I need to draw land. I'm like scared of both of their cards though, man. That's the problem. I'm just like scared of Dam, kind of. I have the Embarrass rights to bring it back, so it's not that big of a deal. But I think we should just get, let's see, because if they go, I don't know what Tainted Indulgence does for 4 mana to kill me. I guess I could look through their deck, but without cards in hand, I don't see how it's that easy. All right, let's get Runescar Demon back, and then I'll just Inquisition their Dam. It's like tutor, 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 tutor. And now I can take Dam, and then they have to peel. But Tainted Pact lets them draw whatever. And if they have like Wrath of God or something similar, then taking a discard spell here is just worse than taking something that rebuilds easily. What's going on here? It's Dual Commander. I'm basically playing with my deck in my hand this turn because I got to tutor 3 or 4 times. And I still don't think I had a way. I mean, I probably did have a way to shut them down, but I couldn't find it. And I looked at my deck for like 3 minutes. With the Umbrella rights to just get things back, I think. Let's see, I've already done a reanimate. They don't have anything in their graveyard. I'm curious what's taking them so long, because they don't have plays. Oh, this is an instant. Excuse me. This being an instant changes things. They can Tainted Pact here in response and look for something that kills the Animate Dead so that I couldn't tutor. Alright, and so now what do I get? I have 1 mana. It can be a discard spell. It can be, do I have Thoughtseize? Thoughtseize. They're all enough but a Gorge, so I can take Thoughtseize. Let's just Thoughtseize. And now if they Tainted Pact in response, we'll do some stuff. Take the Tainted Pact. Otherwise, I'll just take, I don't know. We'll see. A Tainted Pact can become another Wrath. And so all I'm doing here, this is actually just bad, I think. All I did was bad. Inquisition of Kozilek. Well, then the Tainted Pact can be cast and find something that's more expensive. Mattias, thanks for the follow. Get Wash Away to have an extra counter. We could have got Wash Away to have an extra counter. That probably would have been the move on the Spellseeker instead of going for the Animate Dead. The Tainted Pact. Oh, they would have found Cling to Dust, so they could have done it. Lots of lines. Yeah, we could have Thoughtseized and Griefed and took both. That was certainly a play. We do have to play game 3 as well, and game 1 was relatively short. Their deck is great at fighting through interaction. In the future, these should probably not be best of 3. 30-minute best of 1s or something. Just play more rounds. Brainstorm. Okay, so we can certainly die here. That's very scary to me. If they have 2 blue cards in hand and put a Dream Halls on top somehow. They can also just hardcast Atraxa next turn, which I don't think in and of itself is good enough, but maybe. They'll have to trade with Grave Titan, I think. Let's see, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what this hits. Even the Brainstorm there is so sick. So Spell Snare is nothing, but with Dream Halls, it's not nothing. And so the top card that they are protecting, if it's Dream Halls, we're in a lot of trouble. They would have protected Dam if they had nothing else, and I don't really care about the Dam. So I'm going to take Spell Snare, even though it's not very good. And now when they Dam, I'll Barrow Rides back Runescar Demon and Inquisition them, maybe, depending on what they have. Yeah, because if all they had was Dam, they would have protected it. And so they have more than Dam. We'll do Grave Titan, then Runescar Demon in case we do Corpse Dance. Or something similar. I'm not sure how many cards in my deck are top of Graveyard Matters. That was a good draw. I'm gonna get Runescar Demon. Try to anyway. The Wash Away was an incredible draw because now I'm protected from their Atraxa. And I believe I've already played Force of Will, but maybe that was a different game. Let me check. Force, Frantic, Force of Negation. So we can go get Force of Negation. And then we have Wash Away or Force of Negation. And they don't know what we have. And so we can't protect our Runescar Demon this turn. But we can protect from their combo and their Atraxa. If I didn't have Wash Away, I probably would have gotten Wash Away because it counters this off of Dream Halls or off of Hardcast if they have a land here. And I am not super into... Oh, wow. Okay. I think they're just going to cast Atraxa, but either way, I think it's okay. If they cast like a 7 or 8 drop from hand that's a creature, that's a huge bummer. But they were 1 mana short on this, so I think that this is fine to do the here. I hope their last card's not Spell Pierce or something. Alright, so now they're pretty far away from casting that Atraxa again. We have this Force Negation. I know that their card in hand is either a tapped land or a spell. And I'm not sure which spell it is or if it's good. How much does this cost? Aminatou costs how much? 7. Okay, so we can't cast that. We can Chrome. We can have Barrow Rights. And Barrow Rights Grief, just to take their card. And I think that that is the move. I think that's better than holding it Fawn. I think it's better than the Grave Titan as well. It's a verdict. Heck yeah. Alright, so worst case scenario, there are lethal on the table. Nice. Alright, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Alden, thanks for the follow. Okay, so I don't think Tithing Blade or Fatal Push are very good in this hand, but I think Thoughtseize is good, and Mending lets us discard the extras. Plus, they might have some cheap little Jace or something that Tithing Blade or Push can hit. Ash Barons. And Thoughtseize. Bunch of counter spells. I think the No More Lies. I'm not super scared of Lorien for a while. I'm not really scared of it at all, but Memory Lapse is fine. We'll just draw the Faithful Mending again. If that even is the thing that gets hit. They drew Windswept Teeth. Alright, we're going to upkeep this like it's really important so that they don't get to do the cool fetch for a Surveil land. And it uses mana on their own turn. But I also want them to kind of panic and cast now because their hand's kind of dog shit. And now, if they do counter this, I think on my turn I'll just Aminatou plus maybe Blink. I'm not sure. They played another land we didn't know about, so their hand is all lands. And we can Blink to hold up Cling to Dust. What do I want to protect? In case they have a discard spell. Maybe priest. Alright, Pyridine, pretty good draw for them. We know they played this lapse. Okay, so they have 2 land, Lorn Revealed, and 1 unknown. I think I'm going to start with Faithful Mending. If they have a counterspell for it as their last draw, I think that's okay. Let's put back the Fanatic and Data Push. That's fine. And then I think I'm going to play a Felright's Priest. Should have done this first. Okay. So getting back the Metamorphosis Priest right now is not that good. So I'm not sure exactly how we want to go about bringing things back over the next few turns. We want to try to get something really big into play. I need to dig a little deeper into my deck. They played Island. Now they can hardcast Lorn Revealed. It puts the shields down, but I think a draw 3 here is quite good for them. Probably do it. So I can Priest back Metamorphosis, and then that brings back the Priest. I think we'll just do that. Maybe we loot first in case we draw something cool. We have nothing else to do, right? We maybe need the mana. What do we need mana for? Alright, let's see if we draw anything cool off of the Aminatou. Troll Khazid. Okay. Let's see. So I can bring back Metamorphosis brings back Troll. And I don't have to play any lands, right? So I can just get Sewers. See the top card is. A big creature, we can do that. Top. Alright, so let's bring back Metamorphosis. Take some damage, and then this one will bring back... I can just bring back the Priest again, but with the Priest in the graveyard, I'll just bring back Troll, and then I can just do it next turn. We'll just say go. And we have Force of Will on top, so if our top 2 cards are blue card Force of Will, we can force stopping Atraxa or something, or Dream Halls. If we get Dream Halls killed here, I'm going to be sad. Soren's Ransom? Soren's Ransom's fine. I'm going to give him to Fairy versus everything. Baleful Strix's not really that big a deal. Maybe we just give him land to Fairy? No, we don't want to give him the land. In fact, maybe we don't give him that at all. Maybe we give him land Nexus of Fate. Let these 2 be the ones on bottom. I think that's better. Because they might need the land pretty badly, but maybe not because they have the Vista. But they don't know what the bottom... I don't want them to know what these are. And so they kept... What did they keep? So they have Teferi and Baleful Strix. But Teferi here is not even that hard to deal with. We can just attack it. And the Aminatou plus Metamorphosis Fanatic lets us get a lot of stuff back. You can even do it on instep. Baleful Strix is fine. We'll just Oath of Kai it down. All right, we're gonna mending. I'm gonna pitch a Gristlebrand, a Tithing Blade. And now we can get back Gristlebrand this turn and draw a bunch. See if they have force for this. They don't. All right, straw. Okay, now I have a lot we can do here. But I think that for the most part, we're just safe no matter what we do. And with double force. Let's go reveal, minus, and lose. So opponent, creature, opponent. And then we'll discard Archon Swamp. Order's fine. Nice. 3-up. We had a lot there. Even if they had been able to fight back a bit, we had a lot to do there. So. I think I got to keep this hand, but it's kind of wonky with the planes. All right, let's read. So this is a very creature-dense deck, I think. Aragorn, quite strong. Vigilance, Lifelink. When it enters, you become the Monarch. All very strong abilities. When it attacks, the one target creature can't block this turn. If you're the Monarch, creatures can't block this turn. Okay, so basically all this stuff's unblockable. I'm going to keep. Because of the Psychic Frog is just going to be extremely good in the matchup. And I have Force of Will to stop like an early creature if I really want to. Not sure what it would be, but we can. And I have Days for the Aragorn on 4. Okay. Great draw. Black Blue Dual Land. Works with my Pluto Delta no matter what I get. Not that creature dense? Fair enough. I saw a little bit of the deck the other day when Steve posted that he had trophied or whatever. I know it's just like Jeskai stuff, but it looked like there was enough creatures for this, like protection creatures and whatnot. Pippin. Okay, Vigilance, Ward 1. Tap another target creature you control gains pro from the card type of your choice until turn. So it can't save itself. Fine. So we'll get Sewers, Indulgence. I think Graveyard just because I don't know that I'll have time. And I already have a similar card. I'm going to play the Frog since I have Force backup. Next turn I can Oath of Kaya. I don't mind pitching at least 2 or 3 cards from my hand. We have Days for protection and Force for protection. So it'll be like I think I'd rather pitch Counterspell over Dada's deploy because I can discard this and then jumpstart it later if my Frog gets killed. Dinnick. Fine. It's just a guy. Alright, so let's go. So this can give anything protection from the card type of your choice, and it has Ward 1. So we can't Oath of Kaya this turn. But what we can do is just play our land and say go, and then we can attempt to deploy or play Counterspell. And I don't really want to discard or exile my graveyard just yet, so we're going to wait. And then next turn we can Oath with Force Days backup. All right, we'll draw 2, discard 1. But also randomly, if they do something that deals damage to this, we can discard a card also to gain an extra life. Old Breacher. Okay, I'm gonna force pitching counterspell so that I can hold on to days. If that got countered, we were in a lot of trouble. We didn't have anything. I guess we'll just pitch Prismatic Ending. The others are just so strong potentially. All right, I'm going to go for Oath of Kaya on the Pippin, and we're going to pay. And this is essentially saying that they'll have like a one turn to get Aragorn down through the days. And then if they don't, then I'll be able to send it for a while. And so this is going to die, hopefully. If they have Ephemerate or something, I can daze. And this is what I've been saving for a minute, trying to get them with the daze in a tight spot. Yeah. Protection from creatures is fine. Next turn, we can Aminatou this, blink and kill this. All right, we'll exile 3 from the grave. All right, and I will not discard anything. I think my removal all here is pretty good. We'll get a draw card with the frog. And I'll say go. And we'll play the Monarch game back and forth if they have land plus Aragorn. But I have removal spell for it, and I can steal the Monarch from them, so they got to be very careful about it. And Monarch is not initiative, so I know how initiative works pretty well. I'm just not really... So I know how Monarch works pretty well. I'm just not keen on initiative, and I know that they're similar. One of them involves having dungeon. All right, land 5. Frog's Wave. Okay. Okay, so I don't remember how this is going to work with the other ability, and so I think I can Tithing Blade and say go. But maybe I should Aminatou. Yeah, let's Aminatou instead since we drew Force Negation. So we have a couple things covered now. All right, so now we'll go daze this, turn this. And they can save their Dinnick for a counter, but it's not going to come back until way later. And then my frog will come back at the same time. Top card's land 5. Do we want it? Kinda. We can do a lot of stuff with land 5. Monarch is pretty scary now that we don't have any way to pressure. But it's just one extra card a turn until I can hit him. And maybe Snapcaster can hit him. Tithing Blade plus Aminatou plus Oath of Kaya, all just ways to cover mini creatures. I'm going to play Tithing Blade. I'm going to put pressure on their Prox Wave. Can blink this with Aminatou if we need to over time. Prox Wave is one heck of a card, though. Oh, they just let it die? So if we animate dead Hull Breacher, the Monarch stops working. But they'll get it back off of Prox Wave. I guess we can go for Dahada's deploy. I mean, Monarch on a commander's good. I agree. Prox Wave also very good. Just extremely tough. Planning on Ambush Vipering here? I am planning on Ambush Vipering here if they don't play anything that I have to Force of Negation. I just don't have anything great in the yard to target with the snap, and I probably delved poorly earlier when I was eating the graveyard with something. Even's tapped. They can just cast the Aragorn again, but can blink again. What did I use to exile? Cynic from the grave. That's fine. 2 flyer. Alright, Scolding's fine. Oh, they get to investigate off of my thing? That's sick. Alright, so let's go exile Tithing Blade. Okay. Now can animate dead Snapcaster Mage. Seems bad. I'm gonna draw so many cards is rough though. I guess I could animate dead Pending on the clue. Something like that. I think that this is a relatively weak play, all things considered, but the Monarch makes us do very strange things. And I still have a kill spell active if I need it. And I also have a repeatable Aminatou plus Snapcaster Mage at this point if it sticks around. I know Parallax Wave was always one of the best ones of the Parallax fan. Was the Parallax Tide was the blue one? We used that one in the Anka Mishra. That one's fun. The Sapperling Burst was the blue one, or was the green one? Is that the same? Parallax Wave, Parallax Tide. I can't remember if they were all Parallax, if they were or if they were something. All right, Mother Runes resolves. I think I'm gonna go to my upkeep. Let him draw a card. I'm gonna Aminatou the Tithing Blade, I think. Bolt Aminatou. Okay. Yeah, command zone. Alright, now still during instep. Pay 3 life. Kill this. Try to. And we'll try to steal the Monarch from them. They can exile it and it'll come back next turn. But it removes it from right now. Swords is a good draw. You can Parallax Wave it, and then on my upkeep I'll get both back. And Snapcaster can target like Daze. Alright, your go. So we even have protection from like a stifle of some kind if they try to stifle the ability. I'm not even sure that works. See, so now it's fading, and now it's a trigger to come back. Alright, so both these are mine. So this is going to target Daze. And so I can Daze and force a negation. And Bitter Triumph not there, but I do have Swords of Plowshare. Alright, Prismatic Gain targeting the frog. I don't know how many answers they'll have to this, so I would like to cancel or counter. Cancel, counter. If they do have the answer, I think that's okay. We can still do stuff with Aminatou next turn. We have Daze here that can still be cast on a 5-drop. If they have land plus Aragorn, we can counter that. And if they don't have an answer to Frog, I think that we're in business. The land is tapped. Alright. Untap. Draw. Attack with these. See what happens. Okay. So I'm going to bear live. See if this resolves. One of the cards we can get is Priest, and so we can do the Priest plus Metamorphosis guy plus Gristlebrand or some other big thing. Yeah, I mostly just don't think we should do best of 3. I think it should be best of 1. I'm gonna provide that feedback to them after playing the event. More rounds best of 1 just sounds way more fun. No sideboards. There's no reason to play best of 3 other than to spend time playing the game, which is fine. Forcible Hardcast on Buried Alive. I can't do anything, and I don't care. Drawing the Inquisition there, not the best, but I think we're in a great position. They can play Aragorn and get the Monarch back, but then we can get the Monarch back pretty easy. Let me read it all. Vigilance Lifelink. Okay, so there's no ward. I'll go for Plow. It is big. I want to deal some damage, and I want to make sure I can steal the Monarch back. If they fight me over this, that's fine. We can always play Aminatou for 5 and blink something to kill it again, like the Tithing Blade. Alright, so they have some really good stuff in their graveyard. So I'm going to start by attacking, and I'm going to see what they do. And if we get the Monarch, and nothing happens, Grave Titan. It's Inquisition. We can Necromancy Grave Titan now. They don't have much. Alright, some counter spells. Granith Magistrate, unnecessary at the moment. Necromancy going to come down. We're going to get Grave Titan, and it's going to be very difficult for his deck to win after that for a couple reasons. I don't think he's got many Wrath type effects in his deck. Nice. Sideboard can be relevant since you can change commanders. I think you should just make it so that's not a thing. That's a very silly thing. No one changes commanders IRL in commander events. This enters tapped. The Displaced Troll Khazad-dûn gets us most of our mana source colors. But I think that our draw is so slow and that I have to mulligan, which I think is fine. This hand is keepable. I'm going to put back a land. I guess just the swamp. Maybe change rules and gives option of 15 cyber cards. I don't think that that is worthwhile either. I think just play best of 1. I don't understand. Not a big deal. I don't think making the clocks bigger is relevant. I don't think the sideboard stuff's relevant. I really don't want to encourage like wishes. I think playing wishes makes things much worse. I'm not even going to crack. I'm not sure exactly what I want yet. And so we are just going to play it slow and kind of pretend like we have a lot going on when we don't. And if they do something that's like very scary, we can, triumph it if it's a creature. If not, ending it maybe. We'll figure it out. But if Steve's not casting stuff, I'm pretty happy not casting stuff because I already have a bunch of lands. Alright, we're just going to pretend like we have some instant that costs 2 that can be a counter spell. Play something like Mother Runes, then we have to be a little more scared. They miss land drops, so I think I'm going to win pretty easily from here just because I have the ability to hit land drops with some reaction. And if they ever tap out, we can maybe punish them with Buried Alive. This is probably a turn where I should go for Buried Alive, but they didn't do anything with 3 mana for like 2 turns straight. And so if they play Hull Breacher, I'm just going to let it stick, try to kill it on the end step or something. Just always pretend like I have Counterspell active, if I can. Because it just puts them in a really bad spot. We're also up a game. Clock does matter significantly in these. Being up a game is huge. If he has Hull Breacher, he just has to cast it. He missed a land drop already. Spell Queller. That one is annoying. Not that annoying. I don't need to Bitter Triumph it right now. I can wait till end step. Kind of let all my guards down. I don't mind taking 3 right now. We're at a pretty high life total. I don't think he's going to play Aragorn unless he has nothing else to do, because I've just been representing stuff the whole time. But maybe it's so good no matter what that it's just worth casting. And he also might have Force of Will, and maybe that's something I should have considered more, so that I should go for Buried Alive stuff more quickly to force them to have Force of Will early. Pippin, that's fine. All right, so I'll get Plains here, or I guess Scrubland. I drew Scrubland. Hope I don't get hit with a Stifle or something. Whenever opponent search your library, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Okay, so this is going to come in. I'm going to pay 3 life and kill this. And then this is going to fetch a Surveil land, and then I'm going to untap and kill Pippin with Prismatic, probably. Unless I find something cracked. Four cards in hand. So I can Buried Alive plus Balance. If they force this. Okay, so we'll go get Metamorphosis. Priest. And Crystal Brand might be tough here, so I think I'm going to get Archon of Cruelty instead. And then we'll go Priest at the bottom, then Metamorphosis, then Archon. And now we'll balance and hope we don't get hit with the Daze. We'll kill these two. Make them discard a card. We have to sack a land. Yeah, balance is pretty cracked here. Obviously, if they have Daze, we can be in trouble, but they need to have protection for next turn as well. Dang. Maybe I should have Dazed first. So now it's Graveyard or nothing or Counterspell. If they, I'm hoping they just go Aragorn and then don't have Force Will. Brutal Daze, I agree. I could have played around it, but I think I'd rather have the balance counter than the than something else. Arena tapped, so they're not playing Aragorn. I can't imagine that was on purpose, unless what did they return with Daze? I don't remember. But I can Priest now, and they can't counter it, but they can eat it with the Graveyard, and they can also do like a Stifle type deal. See what they play, if anything. So next turn we get to do the step ladder. Priest into Metamorphosis into Archon. If it resolves, we're in business. Find a like it'll be very difficult to lose if this resolves, and even with True Name, because True Name doesn't race lifelink very well. This will take some life. Bring back Metamorphosis. We'll lose 3. This will bring back Archon. We'll gain 3 back. They'll sack. We'll draw. And both these have lifelink, so if True Name attacks and they don't deal with both, we can race pretty easily. Taking 5 here. Aragorn can maybe kill me. So are we just dead for 8? No, we're going to be at 1, 3, 6, 8. Okay, so I think we're not dead. Even gives pro creature. Well, we can't block anyway because of the Aragorn, so I don't think that matters too much. We get to draw a card. So they can give this haste, and then nothing can block. And so they need to play a 1-mana haste creature to kill me, or have a burn spell. On the swing back, though, we can clear everything. Yeah, Hasty Aragorn's pretty terrifying. But they're not leaving open mana, so they're just going to go for putting me to 1. Oh, this is exactly 9? I just miscounted. I thought this was a 3/3 for some reason. That's a tilt. So I don't know if there's anything I could have done. Except the balance turn. I could have done differently. Unfortunate. Okay. So Arena of Glory plus Aragorn. Very strong. Aragorn, another one of those commanders that they might have to ban in heads up, because the unblockable thing is just so gross on 20 life. I don't know. I don't really know what to do about this format. This format seems like a lot of things are randomly banned. I don't even know what all's banned. Certainly don't even know what all's in my opponent's deck. I think if I had just been a little less cavalier with my life total earlier, I could have won. I'm not really sure what I was supposed to do, but I know that I took 3 from my... I took 2 when I didn't have to from the... or I took 3 damage when I didn't have to from Bitter Triumph. And I took 2 damage from the Spellqueller, but I didn't target the Spellqueller. Maybe I drew balance in the spot where I wasn't aware of when I was going to have it. So I think casting all the things I did when I did made sense. I believe it's got its own ban list, but I'm not 100%. On the play, opener's got Beza, which I think is just very strong against them. And we have a thing to put into the graveyard early, so I'm going to keep. Well, it's not that weird, right? They just take whatever cards are just winning too much heads up. You know, a lot of those combo things that are good in Commander are much harder to do against multiple people. But again, I'm not the expert when it comes to the ban list for this format. My opinions are somewhat less relevant. Unmarked Grave. I'm just going to play Sewers tapped. Another land. I don't think I want it now, and I might not want it at all. So we'll put it in the graveyard. I'd love to draw a blue card so I can have pitch for force negation active, just in a tight spot. No 1-drop from them though, no Mother Runes, and no 2-drop, but that could mean a lot of things. Alright, well, now I'll just hold up force. I'll cast it on basically anything. I should maybe play Aminatou. But they have a lot of flash things that I'm kind of afraid of. But maybe that's just stupid. Maybe just cast my spells. If I draw a blue card next turn, I'll definitely tap out for Aminatou. But I gotta do something before this Aragorn gets active. Aragorn is so strong. Blue? Gonna play Beza. I'll get to draw a card because I have fewer cards in hand if it resolves, and I think that's enough to just be a big thing. It gets remanded or mana tithed or whatever. I think that's fine. So this will have the same ability. The War 2, when a creature enters an opponent's control, make a copy of that ability, choose new targets. Okay, so I have more cards. I don't think they get anything. They get 4 life. And a treasure. Okay. 4 life and a treasure is nothing though. I did not draw force though. That's tough. This card is sick though. Can Magister Worth in a little bit though, and that can Wrath. Well, 1-mana commanders are extremely powerful, and there's only 20 life points, Nico. So that's what you're missing. Fair Time Raveler. Well, get honked on by that one. All right, Flanker, Brainstorm, Parallax Wave, Witch Enchanter. Flanker doesn't seem like it does very much. It eats my graveyard, but I'm at the point where I can just cast any of my big things that I draw. We'll just take the Brainstorm. I'll play Beza again, and they'll get a treasure. I'll gain 4 life, and neither of us will draw a card. They can play Flanker here, but it's not that big a deal. Magister of Worth. I guess I can choose... I think it's always exile creatures, no matter what, if they want it to be. And so I think I just can't cast it right now. Magister will kill this thing, though, if I really need it to, which I might. He's only got 4 minutes left. I'm going to just, like, make him kill me. It's going to be a long game. I might time him out. Steve's a good player, though. I don't want to win like that, but I don't know what to do if we run out of time. I'll just play like normal. Maybe extra defensively. Pick up. Witch Enchanter does nothing. Next turn we'll just go Magister and clear. Then we can reset with against Aboleth Spawn after. Parallax Wave, it's fine. Take 5. Never drawing a blue card for Force Negation. Tough. Ward 2. The Magister just clears their creatures. Let's just do that. It'll clear my Magister as well, but I think that's fine. Grace or Condemnation. Grace gets more votes. Each player turns each creature from the graveyard's hand. If Condemnation gets more votes, there's tied. So we just always choose Condemnation. Because when you're playing heads up, you'll never get Grace. You don't ever want anyone to be able to ever get Grace. If anyone ever chooses Grace, it's bad. I did not think it would work like that. I guess the Magister never dies to its own thing. That's pretty powerful. Okay, so now we'll try to kill the Teferi. They're going to take it from us, and now they can essentially wrath us at will. Aragorn. What can we unmark Grave for? Anything? Aminatou, we can blink plus Fatal Push the Aragorn. Is that anything? Writhing Blade's okay. I don't want to discard this Force Negation. Edict them, see what they do. Play our Aminatou, and I'm just going to up to get some loyalty on it. So we can basically bust up their creatures for a minute. And the Parallax Wave is not going to last much longer, and we're going to get a big flyer and maybe a card and some life. They have 3 minutes. I don't think that they can literally kill me in 3 minutes. I think my deck is too good at stopping that. Fourth Earlingus, though. Fourth Earlingus is tough. But they already have... I guess, let's see, my top card is dog shit. Maybe I'm in trouble. Are we going to look for a card? I don't know what that card's going to be yet. But I get some time to look. Things that can immediately come back from the graveyard. We could go get... can go get the flashback thing. Pharaoh rights. And get back a creature. All rights get someone back as well. I think we'll just get Priest of Fell rights. And then... or no, I guess we get Umbrella rights. And then we bring back the troll and have Fatal Push. I need to do this now because they just have Teferi in play still. We're going to kill one of the tokens. And eventually the Parallax Wave is going to come back as well to give us our clear and some Beza. Some Beza love. They can bounce the troll here and just attack for 6, keep drawing cards. They can play Aragorn and get it down for next turn, but with Parallax coming back, we'll get a Wrath on their upkeep, which is pretty powerful. Well, now with Aragorn with haste off Arena of Glory, they can do 2, 4, 6 plus 4 is 10. So if they maybe have some other way to give haste or have another big creature with haste, it looks like we might be dead here. Okay, so we're going to take a big hit, and then Parallax Wave Command Tower lets me Magistrate. And we'll hope that we can do something about it. But we'll probably Tithing Blade just to gain some life if we don't draw anything. But we can also Aminatou the Tithing Blade. Maybe that's worth. I guess if we don't get to Wrath, maybe it's still worth it to minus, just in case. I don't think this is worth, but we'll see. And now, Parallax Wave. Hopefully we don't get hit with like Stifle or something. I really don't know exactly how this works, and I don't know exactly what's in Steve's deck, so there's a good chance that he has something for this, because Parallax Wave being in his deck is a thing that he can play around. Okay, we still get the Parallax Wave creatures back. We'll get the Parallax Wave again. So we'll Beza first, so we'll get tokens and whatnots from life. And now Magister will do Condemnation again, so it clears the Aragorn and the tokens. They can Parallax Wave again, but we're at 10 now. And I think it'll just be very difficult for him to kill me. Kill until next end step. Yeah. So this is going to get taken. That's okay. We can just hard cast Overlord now a bunch. Cycle Troll. Backstreet. Spellseeker. We go get Counterspell. No, it doesn't do anything against the Teferi. Could just cast Mistmoors and then blink it, but they'll Prox in response. Creature or Planeswalker. I think I'm going to Impending the Overlord. And this kill Planeswalker. Teferi on 1, on 2. So I can Impending the Overlord and I can bring back Beza. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just Persist Beza. Oh, it's legendary. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. I guess I can also do this on Beza. Alright, let me just read this. Mill 4, then return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, so we have to exile it when we do. In 27 seconds, I don't think is enough for Steve to be able to beat me now. Graveyard. Persist the Demon. And I'm going to get something for next turn. Maybe Agent of Treachery to steal something. We just have enough mana to steal whatever, so... I'm mostly just going to play faster. I don't think that he has a chance now that we've gained enough life. And I think he's just going to die to his own thing. Turns out Persist was a good pick. Ooh, good call. Rename Nemesis. That would have been scary a few turns ago. They could have even given it haste this turn and attacked me. But didn't have it. Okay, what's the hardest I can punish them for being inactive? All right, opener is reasonable. Opponent's on Philia aggro, and we have boner shards. I'm gonna keep. We have a lot of early interaction. I mean, we can just take some serious damage though if they have a 1-drop creature. And I refuse to look at my opponent's 100-card deck list. Ether Vial, quite annoying. The Thoughtseize, probably not going to get much better than right this moment. So let's go for Underground Sea. And then just hope my opponent doesn't kill my land with something. Wasteland or whatever. Jitte, Factory, Dune, Solitude. I don't much care about the Jittes. The Solitude can eat one of my big things. Obviously not that big a deal at the moment, but what is? Even if they start connecting with Jitte, we can fight through it. I hope they wait to play the Philia. Because I have the wash away for it. If they main phase it, we can bone charges as well. So it's not really... Either way they do it, we have a good check for it. So... I'm just going to discard a card, I guess. I'm going to discard the Ploy, and I'm going to hold on to wash away for later. Next turn we can impending the Flood Pit Lord. We can also just go a blinking. And we can also Lord plus Aminatou. Seems sweet. Maybe I should have Bitter Triumph instead. Talia. Sure. Tough. Tough. I don't know why they didn't Violet. Interesting. Alright, we're just going to plan on hitting it with the Bitter. Okay, so they didn't have anything. Oh, I may have messed up. I let them get to 3. Maybe I should have killed this on upkeep since they didn't blink in anything. I think they got 2 cards I don't know about, but maybe it's just the 1. I'm going to go for a kill on this. I'm going to get really hit hard by a Flicker Wisp or something similar because of this Vial on 3. And that's going to be my mistake. That happens. Okay, so their plan is probably to go Philia, which we can counter for 1. Or I can just Force. And so I think I'm going to go for the Force. That I did impending. Okay. Or maybe I'll force the Jitte. Discard Board of Change, or we can pitch it. Maybe discard Unmarked Grave, since I have nothing to bring anything back. I really want to hit a land. I can force this now. It's just Lord of Change, so I can hold up Wash Away for the Philia when they get to 6 mana. Four mana instantaneously. Sarah Paragon, so they can Thalia me now. Tough. I can play Jitte as well, or attack for 2. Why is they're not getting Jitte down for reasons? Blink this. I might need the untapped mana. I'm gonna discard the tap lane, even though Tomb is good. Now, this Overlord can get checked by the Jitte eventually. This turn, if they put it on the Thalia, we just won't block. And if they send with both, we'll probably trade with the Paragon and then maybe look to get it back later. And we can use Wash Away to counter the 6 mana Helia, like that. I don't really care if the Aminatou dies right at this moment. We can also Plow plus Wash Away next turn. Wow, another 4-drop. So they ticked up to 4 and then just hit 4-drop, 4-drop. And they even have the Witch Enchanter for the enchantment part of this. That's tough. So now Jitte costs 3. They can equip for 2. Just animate Factory. Swing for 7. We're very low on life right now. I think we're getting pummeled this match. They're not even equipping. They're instead choosing to attack for 2 more instead of getting the counters. They're going to hit me for 5 and kill my... Okay. So I think that we are dead. At the very least, we're at like 1. Get balance. We can't cast it this turn because they have the Thalia. So I think I need to get something like Persist to get back the Overlord to draw into more stuff. Because they have the Mistress Factory as well. So it's just really difficult. So we're gonna have to go like chump block, swords, take 4 down to 1. They even get some Jitte counters. I don't think that there's a lot we can do. We actually had a pretty good draw here. And the Sarah Paragon really punished us. Maybe we should have played differently, but the turn one Ether Vial obviously changes the whole game. The problem is we can't plow the factory because we have to not take 5 damage. Okay, no changes. You know now more about their deck. I probably should have just played the first couple turns differently. Maybe didn't need a Thoughtseize on one, but I guess the Ether Violet, it made sense. I should have probably held up Wash Away for the Philia on one. They played around that specifically, and that forced me into a weird spot later. I don't know. Tough one. I'm gonna keep. This is a pretty powerful opening hand, all things considered. We can fetch for planes. We can mending. We can mending metamorphosis, something else, and Spellseeker for reanimate. I'm going to play around Mana Tithe with my days here. I'm going to go for Faithful Mending. And if they Mana Tithe me, I'll daze. But I need to do it now so that it can't be taken from me. Alright, so we want to put Metamorphosis on the top of the deck. Or on the top of the graveyard. So that when we Shallow Grave it back, we can keep the Gristlebrand. That guy doesn't do much. Hopefully we naturally draw a land, so we can play around Mana Tithe. Alright, I think I just say go. Because the Gristlebrand will stay. And this should be enough. I'm going to daze the Ophelia as well, just in case. And I don't have to draw the Gristlebrand until next turn. Now this is permanent, this is not. We can draw 7, look for Force of Will. Draw 14. Okay. Alright, game 3. This is the tough one. Be the tough one, chat. On the draw. I'm going to keep this hand because it has a decent amount of interaction, but I don't think it's great. Like we don't have an early combo-y thing going on. Ooh, Guide of Souls is tough. Maybe we'll draw Fatal Push. Philly's a really cool commander. Let's have Corey. 3 tap sack a creature at 1 of any color. Weird. Field lineup keeps fine. And now the question is, what do I play? I don't want to try and pay life. Good Brutality, pitch 1 to try to steal a card out of their hand. What are the odds they have something in hand like that that can be stolen? How bad is it if I let them blink something with Ophelia? It can be very bad. So I think we just hit the Ophelia. I think I'm going to discard Priest of Fellright. Always get that back later. Galadriel's Dismissal. Target creature phases out. Spells kick the creature target player controls phase out. Each creature target player. Okay. So they can protect their thing. They have Seasoned Dungeoneer, which is extremely bad for us. Takes the initiative. Wow, I hate this card. I am just extremely dead to it. So I will take Swords of Plowshares and lose the game. I honestly, I think that Seasoned Dungeoneer is maybe my least favorite card ever printed. I really do. It's such an insane power level for a 3-drop, and it's like so strong that it's banned in like a bunch of formats, sort of. Opponent lost connection to the game. Well, I don't think that I can win the game if they just come back. So, alright, so so-and-so joined the game. I wonder if their Philia is bugged out. I wonder if the Brutality discard while Ophelia left zones messed up their ability to put Philia back into the command zone. There might be a bug with that. Unsure. No. Okay. Here we go. It's just such an enormous amount of text on a 3-drop, and there's no downsides. It's except when your opponent can steal the initiative from you. And honestly, I have never played against the card. I have seen it cast about 3 times. My God, how do they not play Seasoned Dungeoneer? Am I dumb? Enters, take the initiative. When you attack, target cleric section. Okay, I don't understand. It costs 4. Oh my God, what's the one that costs 3? That's the one I was afraid of. Okay, I thought that Dungeoneer was the one I was mad about. Okay, so we have to play Teferi here, I think. And I think we just bounce Loran and kind of just distract them for a turn. Oh, that's potentially very good. If they don't draw a land this turn, potentially very good. All they do is replay Loran and kill the Teferi. I'll be very happy. Then we have Tithe plus Bitter. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so they can also grow the guide now. We'll have Bitter Triumph now too. And I don't care if they grow the guide if they're not hitting me, so that's fine. Yeah, no land. White Plume Adventurer, that's the one that I hated. White Plume Adventurer. Seasoned Dungeoneer, still great. A little less annoying. They could also maybe go Cavernous Souls at some point. This land is also a little scary. I just need to be careful because let's see if it can exile my stuff. Okay. All right. So I don't really want to play Aminatou. I can use 3 mana. So let's play Undercity Sewers. And we'll Bitter Triumph Reanimate. I can't do anything with it yet. And I already have a Reanimate card in the graveyard, so let's... Daze is an okay draw. I'm going to go for a kill on the Guide of Souls. And I don't really care if they blink it. If they don't do anything, I guess I can just Faithful Mending instead. And I don't really want to give them full value out of Lateral Dismissal. Okay, so they drew the Witch. 4 mana. 2x tap. What can they get back? Is this sorcery only? So they can play Philia. All right, Magister's a great draw because now we can Wrath. Do we need a Wrath yet? They're just going to Philia? I think Wrathing is fine. It forces them to use something, and using something here is great. All right, they're gonna... Each player draws a card. That's fine with me. They're not going to Philia until after it resolves. I don't think I care about Philia too much. Maybe I do. They can blink out their things in response. I think I'm very okay with that. So now I will choose the other one. Maybe they'll make a mistake. I could have countered this, but again, I'm not that scared of it. But maybe I should be. Because now the board's not clear. Dungeoneer is not nearly as scary now. Wish this was a little scarier body-wise. 4/4 flyer's okay though. Maybe I messed up. Maybe I should have dazed the dismissal, since it kills both their things. And things can get very out of control if they just play like land 5 Seasoned Dungeoneer, and I just don't have a way to steal initiative. Let's see, does this immediately gives a counter on something? I just don't even know what the stupid thing does. So I think if they just go land 5 Seasoned Dungeoneer, I think I'm just in trouble. I think I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm gonna have to like read everything as it happens to make sure that I can maybe steal the Monarch from them or the initiative from them. If they just go Dungeoneer with no land, I think I win very easily. But my hand is also not great. The Overlord of the Flood Pit certainly helps a little with the looting. I will be tapped pretty low next turn though, but I'll likely have Mana Tithe up. And I can make it so I have Bitter Triumph and Mana Tithe up. Well, the initiative creature without the guide and the Lorn in play is not nearly scary, right? I think it starts off by getting some life or a counter or something. That's the problem. I just don't even really know what the stupid dungeon does. It's just too much text that's not on the card, you know? The Days also returning enters the battlefield tap land is rough. What does Aerial Extortionist do? So 4/3 flyer. When it enters or deals combat damage to a player, exile up to one target non-land permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may cast it. Okay, so they might play this to try to bounce this, and I'll daze then. Okay, now that I get to untap, assuming that there's no pitch spell here, we might be doing it. Okay, so we're going to say yes from your graveyard. So it's just a 4/4 lifelink. I think that's okay. I couldn't flashback Faithful Mending and Miracle it. Oh, we could have triumphed in response. I suck. Yeah, I should have another thing in play. I'm bad. My apologies. Just missed it. Yeah, it was bad. I definitely should have done the Bitter Triumph in response. I forgot that this is the discard outlet for my things. I know that sounds stupid, but it's true. All right, so we're gonna let them play this Dungeoneer, and then we're gonna try to figure out how best to beat the dungeon. I can kill a blocker. I can Mana Tithe something. So I have options. All the options are pretty good. Definitely missing this is sucker shit. This is the reason why I just need to play the format before these tournaments. But I'm not going to tilt. I just missed something very obvious to those who play a bunch, and I will try to be better. And I believe this is game 3 as well. So this is for Serious Doe. So these little mistakes would cost me. I would have loved to have gotten Runescarred, and then I could have got Force of Will. And then Force Will with Overlord would have saved me from many things. The 4/4 lifelinker here also pretty good. Step Quarry at some point might be dangerous. It can exile my thing. It's a sorcery, but it is scary. Seasoned Dungeoneer. Okay, so I can't counter this. So whenever you attack, target attacking Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, Wizard gains protection. So this is a Cleric. So gain protection from creatures until end of turn and explore. Okay. All right, so let's let them get their dungeon. They'll gain a life. Is this a Cleric? No. Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, Wizard. Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, Wizard. All right, so the Undercity says, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Ite. All right, so I think we're fine. They're going to get 2 counters on the instep, I think. Then we can attack and steal the thing, and then we can unbarrel rights the demon, and then we have Fatal Push active, or not Fatal Push. We have Force of Will active. And also Aminatou for 3 to blink this and get it back. So we get a basic. Is that how this works? All right, so this costs 3 still. And now we can blink this, get back Runescar. Get Force of Will. Runescar lets us tutor. And I think, let's see, there's nothing in our hand that lets us go again immediately, does it? Or does it? We have Demonic Tutor for something. I guess we just get Force of Will, and then I can tutor for like a discard effect. Thoughtseize or Inquisition. 13. I'll go to 10. And was a bunch of lands. Okie dokie. And now y'all get to see why Jitte is banned Modern. Bunch of planes in hand. Feel a little bad for him. Feel a little bad. Don't really feel that bad. Feel a little bad. Can't pass Force? Yeah, I think I can't pass Force either. Not at 10. If I could get Gristlebrand or something, maybe, but at 10, I don't think we can. And I think this is like a all roads lead to Rome type of deal. Like we maybe could find one better plan. Never pity the taxman? Yeah. All right, so they have a draw. Jitte on the Dungeoneer. We'll definitely be blocking with the Metamorphosis Fanatic. I guess if we block with the Runescar Demon, they don't get to kill anything. Maybe that's better. Oh, I guess it can... Does this count itself? No. Or does. Okay, so they're going to attack Aminatou and we can't block. This thing just being unblockable is so wild. Didn't you realize that? Can't. As protection from creatures. Just a wild card. Just a card that is so wild. No one can ever beat it. Okay, so which ways can we go? We can get 2 counters onto something or scry 2. We'll forge. Put 2 counters on the demon. This is 12. We gotta deal 1 more point to him somehow. I figured it out, maybe. Maybe not. We'll just swing, see what happens. We gain a ton of life this way. They have to gain a bunch of life. We got a bunch of counter spells. Yeah, Nico, it's a really cool one from the oh, what's the set called? Warhammer 40k. So we can 5 mana Aminatou, tutor for Fatal Push, and then we have Mana Tithe. This also turns on Revolt. Fatal Push. Where are the? Okay. Helia. I think this is fine. We can just force whatever. Nuggets from Dustborn Commander set. Ooh, very cool. So this can remove my Runescar Demon or whatever while it attacks, but it's like not enough to do anything. I know, boat guy. I know. It worked, son. So I mean, it has to be a 2-card combo that busts through Force of Will. And I don't know that one exists. Okay, so this doesn't make Force of Will cost more. So I'm just gonna let this one happen. Or it costs 1 more. So I lose one of these, but that's okay. Huh. Exile target non-player opponent controls until this leaves the battlefield. I think Thalia ruins them otherwise to be able to do anything. Nice. All right, get to be on the play. Playing for the 6-0. All right, so they are Zusa, Rampies. So we're going to keep because we can go turn 2 Unmarked Grave, turn 3 Persist with Force and Negation backup. Taps for black. And we're on the play, so great. Can use Rainforest to go get Tundra. Guess now we don't have to fetch. Go for Unmarked Grave. Can't get Bristlebrand. Alright. One big creature. What can go the distance against mono green without issue? Greenscar Demon's good though. Fanatic, not now. Probably just Archon of Cruelty. Over and over again. Mono green has a lot of trouble stopping that. Crystal Vein. So that plus Azusa is pretty scary. Not gonna lie. But I'm hoping Fawn stops us from just like getting killed. Or I'm gonna kill it. I'm just gonna slow him down as best I can. I don't know exactly what's gonna happen when I do that, but don't tell. A little scary. I'm probably not gonna cast it. We'll see though. I think you'll have a hard time beating Archon. Crystal Vein's so sick. I agree. Crystal Vein's sweet. It's seen some play recently too. Top 4. Ayavugan's pretty scary. Lazatep Quarry, not as much. I can Aminatou this to get 2 creatures and reset it. Good hand and Dream Drawing. Yeah, very, very nice opponent and opener. Archway. We can hold up Flash for Magister as like a quick wrath. And this is going to make them discard again. And lets me draw a card, so I can draw a 1-mana piece of interaction or a free. Okay. All right, we need a very similar hand. I'm going to mulligan this one. Only 1 land. Wouldn't even mind doing the draw discard thing maybe in the matchup. We got to go to 5. If we can. All right, this one's good. We're going to keep. All right, so we have Priest of Fell Rights we can play on turn 2. Look, hopefully we can get a creature into the grave with Shadowy Backstreet. If not, any looting effect lets us get Runescar Demon, Archon, or Spike. Let's go Graveyard. We need some way to put something in the grave. Another land is also fine. And maybe do some Aminatou stuff. Aftermath Analyst. Kind of scary. 3 land in the graveyard. Land's good. Means we can kill this, hopefully, before it goes off. They can go Zeus at 2 lands, and then I can kill the Analyst, and that should be pretty solid. And that's like worst case scenario. So 2 cards left in hand only. And I do think I kill Analyst over Azusa. I think I can attack for 2 as well. Next turn we can Aminatou, blink, kill this. Crucible. Crucible's pretty good. Lets them go kind of wild with Quarry. I don't have many ways to answer this. We are in a mode of 5, and this is a game where they're able to just kind of do their stuff freely. If I draw a looting effect, I might be able to come back. Moldaya. Emrakul. They're not that close to doing Emrakul. I guess they're closer than I think. Oh, I guess now they just have it. 3 cards. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're getting Emrakul next turn, unless we... I don't know. Maybe we're just getting Emrakul next turn. Okay, so we can Runescar Demon. Okay, so the Collective Brutality is insane. We get to kill Oracle, discard, make them look at their hand, bring back Archon, make them sack. And that's, like, Archon versus Emrakul, it's, like, very hard for them to do much about it. I'm kind of curious if I should bring back, discard Runescar Demon as well. Sorry, let me think about this for a minute. Okay, I'm going to go look at my deck. So what can I do? So I can bring back Runescar Demon, and I have at least 1, maybe 2 mana. The Emrakul is pretty scary. So I can tutor. I can tutor for balance. I can tutor for balance. I can tutor for balance. And I can balance and get all of it. And they lose. I guess it doesn't get everything because they have Crucible. I'm just trying to think. Does the Emrakul even beat me? And it kind of does, maybe. Kind of does, maybe. Tutor for animate, get both. Yeah, but they still have Emrakul, and I'm not sure how even good that is. I think it's balanced. I guess I can, okay. I can just get back Archon. And then the Emrakul doesn't really do anything. I think I'm not going to put it in my hand. Because then they can tutor for Runescar and fuck me up. So I'm just going to hope I draw a brick. I guess they can also Lazatap Quarry something out of my graveyard. I didn't even think about that. How's the duel? What's up, Simic? Doing pretty good, man. This is only game number 2. I'm up a game. If I win, I get 1,200 bucks. If all they do is Emrakul me, if I draw a brick, let's say I draw like 4 Spike, they can Aminatou, attacking doesn't do anything. They can last up Quarry, bring back one of my things, and then maybe get me next turn. Tough. Maybe I should have took Dance with the Dead, but then they can just tutor for Rune Scar and then use something to kill Archon. I think the Crucible would have let him beat me with the Emrakul. If all I do is, okay, so I drew a brick so they can priest, but priest doesn't do anything, and so they're basically dead. I'm pretty sure they're dead. They can Aminatou, and that doesn't do anything. They can Aminatou, blink the Philagi, find something that kills Archon. That is something that they can do. But Archon matches up very well against Emrakul for this reason exactly. We had to clear both creatures though, which is why we went with the direction we went. Balance would have been sick though. It would have killed all but, I don't know, 3 or 4 of their lands, and they can still Azusa Crucible to rebuild though, and they could have done that on the very next turn, which is why I didn't go for that. Because balance doesn't hit artifacts, so they're gonna play my land. They're just gonna fetch and either not find or fetch and deal me some damage. They will probably unearth the priest and then not do anything with it, and just attack my 1/3 Philagi into their Emerald. That's my guess. The land was a great draw. We basically emptied so that the Mindslaver from Emrakul wouldn't do that much, and now we're just at a spot where they're trying to figure out how they can get out of this. And the short answer is it's going to be very hard, maybe impossible. And the long answer is I had to play much differently last turn for this to blow me up. They get Tundra, don't even deal me damage. Aminatou, so now they blink Philagi and they're looking for a way to kill Archon. And if they find it, we might be in trouble. Demonic Tutor, but they're tapped out. Wonder if they can tutor for like a pact. I don't have a Slaughter Pact in my deck. I could pay. Watch White doesn't do anything. I think we're good, but I think they still have a draw step but they might not because the Aminatou plus Oath. Let's go, chats! Let's freaking go. 6-0? 6-0? Is that any good? Is that any good? Oh, I'm just hollering. Beating Final Boss in style? Yeah, give me the money. Give me the money. I thought that I played today great. All right, chat. Gonna do it for stream today. We have successfully defended our title. 6-0 back-to-back months in the MTGO Creator Showdown. I have won $1,250, and I have not played a game of Duel Commander before today. Similarly, in the previous event, I did not play any standard leading up to that event, except for RCQ testing 5 months prior. And I just want to say the gameplay for Duel Commander is very fun. I don't have many takes on ban list, things like that. I'm going to think about what happened today and make perhaps some suggestions for them to improve the gameplay experience. But overall, great day. Just woke up 2 hours early, 6-0'd, beat a bunch of great players along the way, including someone who's qualified for the World Championship. I beat my good friend Ryan Overturf and a couple other really strong players, including Steve Stillman. And I did it with a deck that I really enjoy playing, Reanimator. And this style of deck functions very similarly to all the Reanimator decks I've played throughout my tenure in the game, with some new cards and some cards I've never seen before. But we were able to piece it together and figure some stuff out. And like any seasoned professional, I was able to get the job done, even when I did not have complete knowledge and understanding of the format. So thank you so much to Daybreak and Wizards of the Coast for Magic Online events, and the Daybreak for the creator program for Magic Online. It's been really great communing with fellow creators on Magic Online, and I really appreciate the chance to play for some serious prizes against great players. So thank you so much to Daybreak and Magic Online. I'm Tandy. Make sure to check out my Patreon. I do written content for competitive tournaments. You can check out my Patreon at patreon.com/Tandy. We'll be moving to standard very shortly with content as we progress into the standard RCQ season, as well as the January Grand Prix Challenge thing that's coming up in Atlanta. What else? Hold on. I'm getting pinged a bunch. Let me double check and make sure we're all good. All right. Make sure to check out the sponsors. The sponsors of Tandy's channel, Paradise Games and Gifts, is a game store out of Fairfax, Virginia. They specialize in trading card games. If you are interested in picking up some singles for your Lorcana deck or Magic the Gathering, check out their website at gcparodice.com. I'll link that in the chat. Paradise Games and Gifts is formerly Games and Comics Paradise. They have a wonderful storefront in Fairfax. Check out their website as soon as you can. Thank you so much to moxfield.com. Moxfield is where all of our decks live. If you want to check out all the decks that I make for stream and for various pieces of content, you can follow me on Moxfield, and you'll get updates regularly when I post a new deck. I post new decks like every other day, maybe every day, depending on how deep I am. Sometimes 10 decks in a day if I'm just really into it. I'm also sponsored by Apex Gaming. They're a game store out of Caldwell, Ohio, and they're running the Apex Invitational Series. I do commentary with that group with my good buddy Ross Merriam. We have the Invitational coming up at the beginning of November, and we have last chance qualifiers to qualify for the $20,000 Invitational. For more information on how to qualify, check out apexgaming.gg. Thank you so much. I'm Tandy, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day.